So in 2024, over 50% of people started a side hustle to help supplement their income or just trying to do more than what they actually make inside of their W 2 job. And so the one thing that I thought about when it came to these side hustles, a lot of people don't even file it on their taxes. Why? Because they think that they're going to pay more in taxes because they started this side hustle. They think that, oh man, the IRS going to take all the little money that I just made. However, a lot of people don't understand that the tax code is made for business owners. So if you started a side hustle, guess what? The IRS considers you a business. Why does the IRS consider me a business? I only have a side hustle. So the IRS clearly states that if you're in the pursuit of profit, meaning that you're making money to make a profit, you are considered a business. So, do I need an LLC for this? No, because there are multiple types of entities that the IRS classifies businesses as. It's not just the LLCs or corporations as most people know, but it's also sole proprietors. What's a sole proprietor? So, a sole proprietor is someone that's literally doing business for themselves. They don't have a LLC. A LLC is just protection, just in case of you getting sued. So that means if you're doing Uber, do you have a LLC for that? No, they're a business owner. Lyft, Walmart Spark, Amazon Flex, all of these things, these are sole proprietors. Why? Because they are 1099. They're working up under someone else to get more money. They are contractors. And so there are other people outside of those that are considered a business. So what are some people or who are some people that would be considered a business outside of the 1099s and the Uber drivers? Podcasters, people who just started their podcast. They may not immediately make a profit, but their goal is to make a profit at some point. You're considered a business, right? Because a lot of people are starting podcasts nowadays, but they don't even know that they can write off their equipment that they bought, the studio time that they purchased, right? The venue, the chairs that you sit in, all of this stuff is tax deductible. And so a lot of people leave a lot of money on the table because of the lack of knowledge. So, for instance, I had a conversation with a friend and I was just like, hey, make sure that you write off the stuff that you pay for that you're using for your podcast on your taxes. And the question was, don't I have to have an LLC? The answer is no. Why? Because we just went over this. They are a sole proprietor. They're a sole proprietor. So that means they can take off um rent. If they use a specific portion of their house, they can take like a home office deduction. So if you actually use, like, let's just say the room that I'm sitting in, if I use this room particularly just for making content and doing business, this room becomes tax deductible. How does it become tax deductible? It becomes tax deductible through the home office deduction. So you can write off the square footage of this room, or you can deduct things like your rent, the electricity, things like that that you use every day, even like your car. So if you're a photographer, like I was a photographer in my previous days, as a photographer, you're able to write off the mileage that you spend going to different shoots. You can write off the equipment that you bought. If you bought a new light, if you bought a new lens, if you bought a lot of different things, you can write these things off. And so this is how a lot of people leave money on the table when it comes to taxes. Because you can, in your first rule of thumb, a rule of thumb with taxes and being a entrepreneur or a business owner is you have to profit within a certain amount of time in order for the IRS to not consider you what you're doing as a hobby. What is a hobby? If you're doing it not with the intention of making a profit. So, oh, I started a podcast. I'm gonna write this stuff off, but I don't want to do it next year. That's not a business. You're not in the pursuit of profit. So, what can we do to help maximize our taxes when it comes to our side hustles? We want to make sure that we write down all of the expenses that we spent when it comes to our business or our side hustle. So, if you bought a brand new printer for your business, write it off. It's a tool for growth. You use it for supplies, advertisement. If you bought business cards, flyers, if you have a website, write it off because all of those things are tax deductible. So a website, you're using that for advertisement. It's marketing. It's a marketing investment. If you have a subscription to a platform like StreamYard or Opus Clips or whatever the case may be, those are tax deductible because you're using it for business purposes. Now, you can't write everything off and call it a business expense if the majority of the time you're using it for personal. No, it doesn't work like that. But I want to bring this to the front so that way you can think about it in the lens of a business owner. So, have you been spending money on things for your side hustle and not claiming it on your taxes? Because you can, in your first year, you have up to $5,000 as a startup deduction for your business. So you can spend up to $5,000, but after 5,000, then you would have to write that off over the course of so many years. But you have up to 3 years to profit. So if I didn't profit in year one, I didn't profit in year two, I better be profiting in year three. Right. And so I want to help you make sure that you are saving as much money on taxes as possible because nobody wants to pay more in taxes or give Uncle Sam more of our hard earned money. I don't. And so I don't want you to do that either. And so this is why we need to learn more about taxes. And so we're not just spending we're not just spending money. You're strategically planting seeds for a harvest. I had to look at my little quote because this is something that I had to tell myself. I'm not just spending money for my business. I'm not just spending more money. I'm doing this strategically as a business owner should, right? And so if you have a side hustle, make sure that you keep all your receipts because a lot of things that people spend, if you pay cash for it and you don't keep the receipt, guess what? You can't write that off. So if you buy things with a credit card and make sure that you document what you spent this money on, hey, it's tax deductible. If you track your mileage when you're going back and forth between business jobs or whatnot. So if you're a photographer, you can track the mileage from the time you leave your house to the time you do the shoot and back. That's tax deductible. You're using your personal vehicle and getting a deduction for it. So one scripture that I like to look at also is Proverbs 24 and 27. Prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for yourself in the field. And after that, build your house. God values preparation and wise planning. So when it comes to your finances, we need to do the same. We need to make sure that we prepare before tax season gets here and plan wisely. So that way, when it comes January 1st and the time for when the IRS actually opens up, we don't have to scramble and wonder, oh man, am I getting a refund? Oh man, do I have to pay more in taxes? you would already know. So if this sounds like you, if this is something that you've been doing as of lately, don't wait until tax season actually starts. Let's start now. I would love to work with you. I help entrepreneurs save thousands on their taxes just by using some of the things that they use for business already. I help entrepreneurs save thousands. So I want to help you do the same. So if you're interested, make sure you go to thekingdomdynasty.com/taxes to get started. And there we can walk you through everything that we can walk you through the whole process of saving more money on your taxes, right? Because at the end of the day, the more money you can keep in your pockets, the better. And so when you identify as a business owner and you start treating your tax returns as such and you plan wisely, you can save more money in the long run. So if this video helped you, if you learned anything from it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think about the video. Did this actually help you? And so until the next video, make sure you stay safe and be blessed. See y'all.